on today's exercise. And before I do that, I want to remind you guys, originally when I posted the project 2, I put the deadline wrong. And it should be, you should have 2 weeks in doing the project 2 instead of 1 week. So, well, I have extended the deadline of the project 2 by 1 week, and all the other deadlines will remain the same. And, well, okay, I think all the deadlines are fixed now. And for the day 13 and day 14, they will due on next Monday. And then for the project 2, it will due the Monday after the next. Okay. Okay, cool. So let's talk about the day exercise 14. And this one is going to be interesting. And we are going to try to get the sum of a matrix like this because that is a nested list. But if you want to put that into a 2 by 2 matrix, you can do that. Okay, so how do you want to? And then, well, we know this is will be a 2D matrix. Okay, so how do we get the sum? Say if you want to do a sum equals 0, and then if we want to do the easiest version of the iteration, we can do for a row in matrix, and then we are using a row to represent a nested list. So that is a list inside another list. So we have to go into that further to get the values, right? So I can do, and then I have to visit all the values inside this nested list. So I can do for a value in a row. And then I'm visiting each of the value. I'm visiting 1 and visiting 3. And then I want to do sum plus equals a value. And then eventually I believe I want to return this sum. Okay, so let me try this version and see what I get. I'm getting a 280. Is that correct? I have those values. So just by scanning those values, I will say 280 is kind of like some value close to the sum. Okay? Okay, so this is just one version of doing that. And I would say this is the easy way. Let me comment out this code. And I'm going to show you another harder way. And you should also be able to do that in the harder way. Okay, so I'm going to use I and j as indexes in this case. So I'm going to do for I in the range of the length of the matrix. And then I'm using I as a index. So if I want to get the stub list using the index I, and then that will be the matrix with the index I, right? And then using the matrix index I, and then I'm getting a sublist like this one or this one. And after that, if I want to visit all the members inside, I want to use another j as the index. So for j, in the range of the length of matrix X. And then I'm using the I and j to visit a specific value. So matrix I and j, and then that is really a value I'm able to visit. Like this one will be 0 0, and this one will be 0 1, and 1 0 1 1, right? So and then I want to add this value to the sum, so it should be sum plus equals matrix I j, and then return sum. So let me run this code again, and I got 280 again. Okay, so anyhow, I'm using the easy version of the iteration because I'm using a row as a control variable to visit the members of the matrix. And then I'm using a value as a member to visit each member of a row. And this version is okay. But if you really want to touch a value using the index or the indexes, and then you have to try using I as the top level index, and then you use j as the lower level indexes. So you can do matrix square bracket I square bracket J. Okay, so this is the second version, and you do have to understand and you do have to be able to use both versions, because in the next version, in the next one, you have to do this version. You have to touch both I and J at the same time. Why? Because we are only visiting the diagonal values, right? For the diagonal values, and this one, this is diagonal value, and then 4 is a diagonal value. And to touch those diagonal values, you have to understand for this value, that is the index 0, 0. And for this value, this is the index 1, 1, right? When you are having the I and J to be the same, and then that is a diagonal value. So you do have to touch the I and J to get this work done. Okay? Mm, okay. Uh, well, this one will be interesting, and uh, consider this one. So you want to use the remove by value function to remove all the occurrence of the cat. There are other choices, but this version will give you the easiest solution. Okay, and then you want to this one is a short word. So you are taking a sentence and you want to do a split, and then you only want to output the short words with 5 letters or less. So the very first thing you want to do is you want to do say words equals my sentence dot split. Okay, so well, you have a sentence, for example, twinkle twinkle little star, and the first thing you want to do is you want to break a sentence to words. How do you do that? You want to split with white spaces, for example, like this. And then after that, you want to visit each of the word. If that word is shorter than 5, you print that. Otherwise, what do? You just continue to the next round, right? So you want to do for a word in words. And then if the length of the word is smaller than smaller or equal to 5, you want to do print word. And otherwise, you do nothing, but you want to continue. Okay, so this is the answer for this question. And if you want to get rid of this else, that is also okay, because then if the word is shorter than 5, we print that, and otherwise we do nothing, and we are gonna start the next one anyhow. So it doesn't matter if you want to do the else continue or not, because the code should behave just the same. Okay, so those are the help I want to give you. And remember, for the day 13 and day 14, they are due next Monday. And for the project 2, you will have one extra week. It is due next Monday. Okay, good luck.